My roommate was living a double life. Story time. When I got admitted into university, I couldn't wait to experience campus life for the first time. Freedom, new friends, a fresh start. During hostel allocation, I was paired with a girl named Nina. She was the kind of roommate everyone wished for. Quiet, respectful, always neat, and rarely had visitors. Every morning, she would leave for lectures, and most evenings, she would sit at her desk, studying while I struggled to stay awake. Living with her was peaceful, at least, that's what I thought. A few weeks later into the semester, I started noticing things that didn't make sense. Nina would disappear almost every night. Sometimes she would leave after dinner and wouldn't return until 3 or 2 a.m. Whenever I asked where she has been, she would simply smile and say, "Just hanging out with my friends." Something about that answer never felt convincing. That one morning, I woke up to see a brand new designer handbag lying on her bed. It wasn't fake. It looked incredibly expensive. The strange part, just a few days earlier, she had complained about not having enough money to buy her course materials. I brushed it off. Maybe it was a gift. But then the delivery started. Almost every single day, different dispatch riders showed up at our hostel carrying neatly wrapped packages addressed to Nina. Luxury perfume, designer clothes, jewelry, branded shoes. Meanwhile, she still borrowed my lecture notes because she said textbooks were too expensive. None of it added up. The more I paid attention, the more questions I had. Then one Friday evening, everything changed. She rushed out of the room so quickly that she forgot one of her phones on the desk. One of her phones. I hadn't even known she owned two. A few minutes later, it started ringing, over and over again. I wasn't planning to touch it until the screen lit up. The caller ID read, "Manager." Before the ringing stopped, a message appeared on the lock screen. "The clients for tonight are confirmed. Don't be late." I just stared at it. My heart immediately began racing. Clients, late night meetings, secret phones, luxury gifts. My mind jumped to the worst possible conclusion. When Nina finally returned that night, I couldn't pretend everything was normal. I asked her directly. She looked at the forgotten phone, then at me. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Finally, she sighed. Tears welled up in her eyes. "I guess you know now," she whispered. I prepared myself for the worst. But what she said next completely caught me off guard. Nina wasn't living a double life. She wasn't involved in anything illegal. She was a professional event singer. For the past 2 years, she had been performing at weddings, concerts, private events, and corporate shows while secretly building a massive social media following. The manager was her talent manager. The late night outings were performances. The expensive clothes, jewelry, and perfumes weren't bought by her. They were sponsorships packages from brand she worked with. She had kept everything hidden because she didn't want students constantly asking her for money or treating her differently. Honestly, I felt relieved. But the biggest surprise came a few weeks later. One afternoon, I was scrolling through social media when a video appeared on my feed. Thousands of people were screaming. Lights flashed across a massive stage, and standing in the middle of it all was Nina, my quiet roommate, the same girl who stayed up studying beside me, the same girl who ate instant noodles with me during exam week. She was performing in front of thousands of fans. The video had millions of views. Comments were calling her one of the fastest rising entertainers in the country. I couldn't believe I had been living with someone so talented without ever knowing. The experience taught me something I'll never forget. You never truly know the people around you. Some are fighting silent battles, some are chasing extraordinary dreams, and some are quietly building a life far bigger than anyone could ever imagine. Hit the subscribe button.